Well, welcome to Alamance County Talks Politics. Today I have with me Alamance County Commissioner Pam Thompson. She's serving her second term as Alamance County Commissioner, and Commissioner Thompson joins me today to discuss the important topic of body cameras for the Alamance County Sheriff's Department. They do not have body cameras, and she has brought up the need for body cameras in the last three commissioner meetings. Let's listen to her as she brings this up in this clip.
Just to follow up about body cameras for the Sheriff's Department. And I'd like to know, is the Sheriff's Department ever going to get body cameras? And I said, I want body cameras. I want body cameras for the Sheriff's Department. I know a lot of the municipalities have them. I don't understand why we don't have them.
Well, today I welcome Pam to the show, and Pam, I appreciate your willingness to come and discuss this topic. You have, over the last three meetings, brought up this issue of body cameras, and I want you to tell me, why do you think they're important?
Well, it is going to be that hill for me to die on because I think they are that important. I want our officers protected with live action visuals, whatever goes on in front of that camera, and I want the public protected from whatever happens the other way. I think they're very important. I've consulted all the police departments here in Alamance County, just about all of them, and spoken with some out-of-county sheriffs and police officers, and they have them. And I mean, the smallest one, Hall River, has body cameras. I spoke with their chief, Harrison. Some grant money went in there, and we're looking at that also. But I want our detention officers with cameras. Anybody that's wearing a badge, I think they need them because at this day and time, when it comes to court or lawsuits, he said, she said, you've got to have the facts, and the camera doesn't lie. And I just think it's a very smart thing. I'm just so surprised our Sheriff's Department is going to be the last one that's ever gotten body cameras. Whatever, but I'm not going to let go of this. I think it's that important.
Yeah, I agree with you. It really does help with with accountability and transparency from both sides, from the law enforcement side, as well as also, the people that they come into contact with, because it really does remove a lot of he said, as you said, she said, and things of that nature. It increases public trust, because they know when you're being recorded, you're more likely to try to make the right decisions. Wouldn't you agree with that? I mean, on both ends.
I do too, and I just hope our SROs will be able to wear them. I don't know school policy on that, but I don't see why that'd be a problem because of so many things that sometimes schools can just get into a lot of trouble with their discipline. And I think it's so important when that SRO is put in the middle of something like that to make sure that they have all the facts, because you don't want an innocent kid in trouble and you don't want a guilty kid to get out of it. So same situation, same principle. We just need the facts in front of us.
That's a good point. I don't think I had thought about SROs. I assumed everyone associated with it. Are you saying there may be only detention officers and field officers wearing them, or wouldn't they go to all of the Alamance County Sheriff's Department? Because I think you got something there. You're right.
I would not see why not, because I think it's very important for those SROs. They play a role, not like your standard officer is calling to do something like that, working with young people. There's a big trust that needs to be built between that officer and young people. They may want to report something that's not shouldn't be at school when it can really save lives. So I don't see any reason why. That is an officer of the Sheriff's Department. That is a Sheriff's Department officer. And they, just because they're SRO, there's no difference. That's just their field of what they work in. They're tough too. They're excellent officers. They make a big difference.
Well, I think it would be something you would want, because especially dealing with younger people, because as you said, they could fabricate something, or the officer could. It really
Mhm.
just helps in every situation, whatever scenario. It really helps to clarify what actually happened, doesn't it?
Yeah, and accountability is really missing in a lot of society. We watch TikToks. I see where people just lose it in a basketball game. They hit each other. The parents come off on the floor, and I think, why are you surprised your children act that way? If you act that way too, they are our how to be growing up one-on-one book, so to speak. And kids, whatever they walk out of their house with walks into the school, and they just really have it coming at all points. But there is right and wrong, and there is no in between. You got to work through that. But I want cameras on our officers. That is just that important.
And you bring up a good point, because many of the videos that you see of these parents coming off the bleachers or whatever, they're videoed probably by someone in the stands or something of that nature, right? I mean,
Well,
so
yeah.
if they're not there, then we really don't have an accountability of what's taking place there. So That's a good point too. I mean, that way you can see what happened, and maybe I don't know, do the schools have them in the gymnasiums or anything, Pam, or do you
They
know?
got cameras, but I'm not sure about where they're located. I would hope so. The thing about it too is, somebody's cell phone can be edited to really work
Absolutely.
out good for somebody. Body cameras, you don't have an editor. You're not going to win an Oscar award. It's just straight out what it is. And
Yep.
lawyers, prosecutors, defense attorneys watch those all the time because that's part of their case.
Good. So, Pam, I want to ask you this question: have you received any pushback from pushing this? You brought it up the last three meetings, and I've not really seen a concerted effort among the commissioners as them being as vocal about it and desiring it as much as you are. Now, I will play a video of one commissioner who comes up with several excuses as to why he comes up with the reason we need them, but then explains why we can't afford it or something, or the cost or something like that. We'll get to that. So, but have you faced any pushback? I mean, do you sense there's a desire from those that are involved to get these, or
I don't know, Keith. I never know.
okay,
I ask a lot of questions, and a lot of times I just don't know when I'm going into a meeting. But on the streets, which I'm everywhere, people think is the best thing we could do because they couldn't believe our sheriff's department did not have body cameras. And I mean, smaller counties have them. It's just really what your priority is, what your vision for your county is, and what you value. And I value safety, not for just my officer, of course, 100%. Every time we turn around, an officer is being killed. That it just cannot keep going. It cannot. But then you see the public, and they've got to know that that represents the honesty part of what they're saying as well. So you see so much disrespect said to officers when they pull somebody. I can't
yeah,
imagine
yeah,
talking to an adult like they do, but
mhm,
there's just no fear. Like I said, whatever you walk out of, you take it with you, and it just needs to be protection on both sides. It's like you got the Lord sitting on your shoulder. All right, y'all say what you want to, but I know what's the truth. So